Okay, we are back for video number 2 in our Gilded Autumn stamp class. I'll wait a little bit to let some people find the notification and jump on with us. Of course, Facebook app needed to update on my iPad, so we're working with that, but Dale will find the video here in just a minute and we'll watch for comments. So we are glad you're here with us this morning. The second project I have for you is not quite as straightforward. It's still kind of a simple concept, but it's a little bit more futzy. Judy is back. Donna is back. Welcome back, y'all. I wonder, Judy, if you still have some cool weather up in Arkansas. I bet you do. I think you were a little bit ahead of us on the cool front, but it's about 60 degrees here today. It is really nice.
Or invite Judy over. She's mopping her kitchen.
She's really good at doing housework and watching videos at the same time. Baby Ruth is back. Baby Ruth is at a retreat this weekend, which is lovely, but she's with a group of quilters, so I bet that's really fun. Oh, it's very cool where Judy lives. Yes, it's nice.
LaDonna wants to join Judy.
She wants to join Judy?
Yeah,
for the cool weather or the mopping the kitchen? Okay, let's go ahead and jump in with video number 2. On screen here, I have our sampler for this month, so I wanted to be sure and share it with you. I'll move it up in just a minute so you can see the whole thing. It doesn't all quite fit on the screen, but each month I do a sampler class, and we're doing these to go, but you get your kit. Either we deliver it or get it in the mail, and all the supplies are prepped and ready for you to assemble. And this month, it just so happens we're doing a gratitude sampler, and today is the deadline to join that class. So we are using the Gilded Autumn for our gratitude sampler as well. So let me bring this a little bit closer to where you can see the first couple of blocks. And just what we did there. And then I'll move it up a little bit. And this time I decided to do a little bit different layout. I still can't remember, Dale, the dies that painted labels. So this is that swirl from painted labels, so we kind of made a wreath out of. And then I know that Judy was working on some pumpkin ovals the other night when we did paper pumpkin, and we had already done that for this sampler. So that was a great idea, Judy. Judy was using kind of a gray or white, though, pumpkins, which would have been really pretty on this as well. So that's the sampler class. It does include some product, so it's a great deal because you're able to go ahead and assemble your sampler and then still have product that you can use for other projects. So let me know today if that's something you're interested in doing. Today is the deadline and I'll be ordering product for that. So let me go ahead and get some things situated. This is how we did this for this card. I guess I should show you the card, right? I hope you guys like this. I think it's really, really pretty. Spent a lot of time punching out leaves and acorns and little sprigs using the sprig punch to create this wreath.
Sherry's back.
Sherry's back, yay.
And they think that the Sampler is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. The product makes it so very easy to design something pretty. You just let it do the job. So let's get started on this card because it is, like I said, a little bit futzy. It's a little bit time consuming, but I think it's well worth it in the end. So we've got a lot of the pieces that we're going to need already punched out. And I'm using a mint macaron card base this time. I can find my bone folder. There it is. And again, we will have a PDF that we'll post probably later next week with all of the measurements if you want to recreate. But this is just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This inside panel is very vanilla, and it's 5 1/4 by 4. Now you could certainly stamp first before placing that. I just like to put that inside panel, give it a little bit more finished look. That's just what I prefer. Not everyone does that. And then we're going to use a piece of early espresso cardstock to mat this layer. I just think that looks pretty, but when you mat it on the early espresso, it really brings out the colors of the Designer Series paper a lot more.
Baby Ruth says she loves the card.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. It is not one, Baby Ruth, that you would want to make 80 or 100 of, like I know you so often do, because it's a little bit time consuming. But for someone special, it would be really nice. Make sure I've got that pretty even. You'd probably want to send this card to another crafter, someone that understood the amount of time that you put into it. Someone that would proudly display it. So I realized, and I don't even know that we did this on purpose, but we're using a lot of punches today. And although I do love my dies, sometimes it's just so much easier to grab a punch and be done. Okay, so that part we've got done there. And I'll show you right quick what I did with the envelope. This is just a little acorn stamp. Went down the side like that just to give it a little bit of decoration. And now we've used the stitched shapes dies once again. What did I do with that ink pad? And again, we're bringing in the early espresso. Such a pretty color to use for fall.
Cassandra says if anybody needs her address to mail her the card, just let her know in a message and she'll send it to you.
You will? You're so awesome like that, Cassandra. All right, let's see if we can't get this lined up and pretty even. Do a good job stamping today. Pretty good. So we're going to build our wreath around that. So, I don't know, I stamped one earlier. It may be like the one we just did better. Okay, let's do that. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and put our dimensionals on and get this popped up. And then we're going to kind of build the wreath around it. Well, not kind of, we actually are going to build the wreath around it. And of course, with something like this, every single card you do is going to be a little bit different. Y'all let me know if this is something you would do. It's funny because the first card was pretty simple and straightforward, and then this one is a little bit more time consuming. So I like to show y'all different things in class. Let's put one more dimensional down here. I didn't get that one off. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to bring that in. And get it centered. I think that looks pretty good.
Judy says she was going to do a wreath with the paper pumpkin kit, and she gave up.
Yeah, it's just a little bit time consuming. You kind of have to be in the mood to do it. I know the paper pumpkin kit this month, I guess it was September's kit, was a fall themed cracker box, and when LaDonna showed me everything that was in the kit, I could not believe how many pieces, and I know Judy was working on that the other night. So many pieces.
Well,
but that would be cute to make a wreath with those supplies.
Cassandra says that she's not fussy cutting.
Oh, you don't have to fussy cut. That's what's so awesome with this little punch pack. You can punch out a lot of the acorns and leaves. There's a few little small leaves that would need to be fussy cut or not. But it's great because we're just mainly using punches today, except for the sentiments. Now this is the sprig punch. I always want to call it the twig punch, but it's not. It's the sprig punch, and it's what we are using on the brushed metallic paper. So let me see if I can find, there's one, yeah, there's one that I had not cut up yet, but that's the brushed metallic paper. And unless you actually have it up against, I have some leaves that are, so I don't know if that will really show up super great on camera. I keep seeing a little dimensional back in my view. I don't know if that'll really show up, but there is quite a difference to the texture, to the shininess of the paper between the brushed metallic and then just our regular like gold or copper foil paper. It's really pretty. So we punched several of the sprigs and then we just snipped them in half. So we're just going to start layering, and this is just a little bit of a process, y'all, and I'm sorry. I hope that this does not I'm going to put these on first. Yeah, then I'll get my silicone craft sheet. So on this card, you really don't see a lot of the twigs, but they do kind of peek out here and there. And I think that I'm going to try to put them over just a little bit to where they show a little bit better. I need to grab, I'll take your pick tool, this little putty end and see if it'll stick to that metallic. I think that's going to be a better way to add those pieces. So I may try to bring those out just a little bit more on this card. So the first thing is just to kind of go around and build your base with these twigs, with the sprigs, not twigs. I always want to call it the twig punch. And I just found that it seemed like they lined up better if I just kind of took the ends that were cut and put them together. Does that make sense? So I'm taking I'm taking the two ends that were cut and putting them together so that it kind of brings that, it automatically kind of brings it around and makes it more of a circle. Well, I'll tell you that, and then this one's not going to do that. Guess it depends on which one you grab. So this is why it's a little bit fussy. But I was really happy with how it turned out. Y'all have to let me know what you think. I'm putting that one on backwards. Ooh, this dude is giving me a hard time. It's nice to have that take your pick tool. I'm trying not to get a bunch of glue on my fingers, but that's not really working.
Madonna said she would make this card for her very, very best friend.
Well, I would make it for you too, LD, but there's some people, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be ugly, but some people would not know all the work that goes into something like this, and horror of horrors, they might throw it away. So those are not the people that we send the cards to that have the specialty paper, is it? This is like a best friend card. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I've got glue on my fingers now. But I thought it turned out really pretty. And kind of once you get this base, which that's pretty on its own. But of course we want to add some little leaves. So one of my new, well, I guess it's not really new favorite products, but one of the favorite products that I have right now is my silicone craft sheet. And in our team meeting the other night, Gail actually did a presentation for us and taught us even more about the silicone craft sheet that I did not know. But we are now going to take, I guess we'll start maybe with these mint macaron little leaves. And we're just going to kind of dip it, I may not use the take your pick tool for this. We're going to dip it in the glue and then just add a couple of these mint macaron leaves. And I found by having everything punched out ahead of time, this process went a lot better for me. Because then you can just kind of build your wreath. And just layer things up. And I think what we'll do next, I kind of saved the acorns to the very last. Let's come in with some of the maple leaves. Give it a little bit more color. Hello, did I lose one?
No, check, they got a couple of leaves on there that you can check off.
Oh, okay. So let's see, maybe bring this guy up here. And we're just kind of building it. So this is why every one of these cards is going to be a little bit different. It's just kind of what you like as you're going. And I did kind of use the rule of 3 quite a bit with this, where you put 2 or 3 of the different leaves. And I like that the wreath is actually popped up, so you almost have that effect where the leaves are flying around with the wind blowing. Oops. In the background. Let's see where I want this guy. I think maybe up here. So we do have a couple of the metallic leaves. I think these are punched from maybe the gold foil paper. Oh, gold and copper. And we'll just use a mini dimensional to put those on. And let's see where we want to do that. Maybe down here. And then maybe one over here. Got my finger sticky. I know that never happens to y'all, does it? Love that liquid glue, but I just used too much. That's all there is to it. I guess we'll put this other one kind of up here. And we are almost done because I think all we really need to add is our acorns. So what do y'all think? Let me know if this is one you would recreate. An acorn here.
Donna Williams just joined you.
Hi Donna, good morning. Oops. Got acorns flying across my table. Let's see. Sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly where you want to put them. Maybe one up here. And we'll do one more.
Cassandra says she would recreate this for her parents.
Oh, that's true. That would be nice.
Sherry Barrett says it's beautiful.
Thank you. It's really fun. Okay.
Donna Fenton said she loves it and she would be happy to receive it.
You'd be happy to receive it? Well, you are the kind of person that I know would appreciate how much work went into this card. So, because of course there was a little bit of behind the scenes prep work. So let's bring that other one in. And again, I thought that was fun just to use the little acorn stamp. And it's got the shading built in. Super, super simple. But just to be able to put that little bit of a touch on the envelope, because we really are trying not to have naked envelopes anymore, right? Oh, I know what I didn't do. Remember this ribbon, y'all? You thought I forgot about it, didn't you? I didn't. It's still my favorite. So on this card, I did put a little bow. And I think that you could certainly use the linen thread, like we talked about earlier. That would be pretty. See if I can make a bow with sticky fingers. Pretty good.
Diana Hughes, Georgia.
Hi Diana, good morning. I bet in her part of Arkansas it's a little bit cooler weather too. It's really nice here. We were ready for fall. For this is like second fall for us. We probably will have a couple more falls before real fall sets in, right? Okay, let's just snip those ends off.
Well, Shane said Pennsylvania was completely covered in yellow and brown.
The leaves.
The leaves had
Oh, I bet
turned.
it was pretty. Our son is working where he is delivering some like little RVs, and he traveled up to New York earlier this week and was in Pennsylvania. You know, went through Pennsylvania a couple times, so that's what Bill's talking about. I knew that it would be really pretty up there.
And our leaves are still green.
Yes. Our leaves are starting to fall, though. We've got a lot of oak trees. And I know I was standing at the kitchen window a couple days ago and saw a couple of oak leaves go flying by, so put a couple of little mini glue dots on our bow just to finish this off. And then we'll put that one, I think, right about where I put the other one on the other card. So there you have it. There's our second card for this Gilded Autumn stamp class. And I hope you like it. I may even recreate a few more because we've still got quite a few leaves punched. Now, this little glue mess that I have on my silicone craft sheet, if you see where this is kind of already drying, it just rubs right off. When we're done with class, we'll just take this to the sink and wash it, and it will be good as new. So that is a little product that I think they're $6, but it can really make a big difference in your crafting. I've really, really enjoyed using that. Hot glue, liquid glue, your tape runner, like your Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus snail, none of that sticks to that craft sheet. So it keeps your work surface cleaner and doesn't mess up, you know, the back of your projects. Okay, that is all for video number 2. We will be back at 11 o'clock with our third project demonstration. And directly after that, we will be doing our mystery stamping. So if you have any questions about mystery stamping, let me know right away. I can tag you in the post if you need to find that quickly so you can get your supplies ready, because we are going to give away a classic label punch Tuesday to one of the participants of mystery stamping. Okay, we'll see you back in a few minutes. Thank you.